Now, to get to the beginning of Daken Road, you're going to take I-25 from either Denver or Colorado Springs towards Castle Rock. And once you're in Castle Rock, you're going to get off on Wolfensberger, and you're going to head west, which would be away from Castle Rock, the actual rock. So you're going to head west on Wolfensberger, and you're going to go a few miles until it ends. And when you get to the end, you'll be on Perry Park Drive, and you're going to make a left. Now you're going to stay on Perry Park Drive for 5 miles, and then you'll make a right on Daken Road. And for a while, it's going to be paved as we go through some farmland here before we get to the trail. That's only going to take about a half mile before you hit the dirt road. This is going to be super easy, and any sedan, family car can go through this. In fact, I'm not even going to bother to air down. I probably won't even air down all day because it's just not that crazy of a road. Unless we get into some ruts later on, which, if I remember right, there really aren't much. If I could do the majority of the road in my little BMW X3, I should easily be able to do it in here. I don't think I'm going to run into any real difficulty at all. It was only at the very end where I had to climb some rocks, and I just couldn't do it in my BMW. So we shouldn't have any problem today. So stock Jeeps, no problem. This is going to be an easy road. Just should be a little fun little excursion. So the trail kind of really starts at the pine line. So it's a really pretty drive. Like I said, it's a little rough, but I mean, nothing that a passenger car can't do. Just watch out for some of the ruts that are in the road. But otherwise, I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous through here. It is a little narrow, so watch for oncoming vehicles, motorcycles and stuff. So there's not too many places to make room. I mean, there's plenty of them, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of places to pull over, but you definitely have to watch for oncoming vehicles to make sure that you do have a place that's safe to pull off and let the other people pass. Definitely plenty of bumps and ridges and things that a passenger car is probably going to scrape on. I do remember going through this in my X3 a few years ago, and I didn't have any problems because it had some extra ground clearance over a standard sedan. So I would say any SUV is going to be fine. As long as you've got some decent ground clearance, you got some decent tires on it, you're going to whip through this no problem. Like, here's a spot that's kind of rutted out, and as long as you take it slow, you're going to be just fine. But there's definitely some bumps that a regular sedan is just going to bottom out on going over. But any SUV so far, not a problem. And it is just a gorgeous area to drive through. It's a nice, easy drive, nice and slow. but just the morning sunrise coming through the pine trees. This is the time to be here before it gets all crowded, before there's motorcycles stirring up a bunch of dust. Just a nice early morning drive just to kind of get things going. It's so relaxing, and it's just such a beautiful area. And now we're coming down the back side of the hill. It's kind of steep, not too bad, not crazy steep by any stretch, but just enough that you can pretty much just put it in a low gear and just cruise down nice and smooth. No need to ride the brakes on this. I've just got it in manual too, and we're just crawling down. There are some pretty big ruts, so taking it nice and easy is definitely called for here. I can definitely remember now why I didn't get my X3 past that one spot there with all the flat rocks, because it just gets really, just a really too bumpy, too many little hills that I would have scraped on. But any normal SUV, you know, Tacomas or 4Runners, Pathfinders, stock Jeeps, none of those are going to have a problem on this. Now, only because I have my sway bar disconnected, because there's some little flexy spots here, but nothing, again, nothing crazy. Nothing that you have to disconnect your sway bar. And if you can't, like on a Jeep Sahara or Wrangler, it's not going to be an issue for you. You just take it slow over the big ruts and little bumpy areas, and you'll cruise right down. Oh my gosh, look at this view. This is pretty awesome. I think this is going to be a trail that I take new people on, that I maybe take some guests on that just want a little bit of experience of doing some off-roading, but they don't want to get gnarly. They don't want to do anything crazy. And it's really close. I mean, it's just outside of Castle Rock. So it's a nice, easy, short drive from pretty much anywhere, whether it's the Springs or Denver. It's not that far. You know, it is literally right in the, you know, heart of Castle Rock. You get off on Wolfensberger and just head out, and then it's only a handful of miles before you start the trail. We got this nice little valley beneath us. I mean, maybe it's 100 feet, so I doubt it's even that. It's probably 50 feet. But it gives you kind of this miniature experience of being on a shelf road without actually having much in the way of danger, because the road's pretty wide, and it's definitely wide enough that, you know, you're not going to fall off. Just stay in the middle of the road. It is a little tight if you come upon another vehicle. Then you got to find somewhere to ride up the berm or something. But otherwise, it's just a nice, fun road. You get some bumpy, you get a little tiny flexy, nothing over what I would call easy. It's definitely an easy road. Well, that was Daken Road, and when you get to the end, you'll get to a T intersection, which is Rampart Range Road. If you go to the left, you'll head towards Woodland Park. So if you're going back to the Springs, then turn left and head that way. If you're going back to Denver or somewhere north, turn right and head up Rampart Range Road. And through here, you can stop and go hiking on Devil's Head, explore around Rampart Range. Lots of stuff to do. Head over to Decker's and grab some lunch. Lots of stuff to see and do on Rampart Range Road.